Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Man, those riots in France are just getting crazy. It's definitely, in my opinion, moving from just being kind of riots to being kind of revolution. I mean, I was reading this morning that they're kind of spilling over into Switzerland. They're starting to see people over in Switzerland starting to do similar things, much smaller level, but definitely starting up the same way. It is spreading all over France. Overnight, the news is reporting that the mayor of Paris, his house was attacked, that they drove a car into it, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it is over the top. Is it going to continue and spin off into something even worse? An actual kind of takeover, another French Revolution? Or is this going to kind of fizzle out at some point? I don't know. I was reading that the French President Macron is hesitant. He's under a lot of pressure from his people, military and police and stuff, to declare like a martial law status. He's not done so so far, but it's looking crazy over there. In fact, all of Europe is getting that way. I think it's kind of a window into the future for the United States, as long as we keep going down the same path where they just allow anyone that wants to come in, and then they allow the laws to change, and it's completely destroying the culture of that region, of those countries. That's what's happening here too. We're just kind of a little bit behind them, but should probably be watching that just to kind of see how things pan out. And then also remember, like I said the other day, that kind of stuff can happen here because it's already happened. If you go back to the BLM riots, very similar types of behavior, things that's happened. And another reason why you should be prepared, especially for those of you that live in the cities. Even if they're not the big, inner city metropolis type areas, even your medium and smaller size cities can certainly at some point have these types of violent activities. And so you should be prepared. I was talking to someone actually the other day, and they were saying how, and they're former law enforcement, and they were talking to a few friends of theirs that, work in smaller cities and stuff. And they said that they're starting to see a lot of crime in these smaller cities. And when I say smaller, I'm saying like less than 10,000 in population, 5,000 population, stuff like that they're seeing an increase of crime also. So it's not just the big cities, it's all over, and we should probably prepare for that. But that's not actually what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about something else that you're all sick and tired of. Before I get to that, I wanted to say, hey, if you're interested in these t-shirts, this is one of the ones that I designed myself. It's the Tree of Liberty. I must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. And then at the bottom, it says it is its natural manure. You don't see that too often, that last little part, but there's a link down in the description below that you can go to and get these for yourself. These are printed by some very, very close, dear friends of ours that have their own t-shirt business. So you're helping out a fellow believer and good people by purchasing one of these t-shirts. Anyways, I know it's July now. We're into July. And we're sick and tired of what we had to deal with last month with all the pride festivals and in-your-face stuff. But it's not over, folks. The U.S. military, the U.S. Army, and the Defense Department have shared with the American people the last day or so this major. See, it should be popping up somewhere right here. A Major Rachel. Whatever the guy's real name is obviously a dude. It's a dude in the Army with the rank of major. It works in the Army's sustainment department. Post a video about how he's just proud as can be to be trans now. Out there just showing it all. Here's another picture at his desk. See, that has the little sign there. It says she, her pronouns. So letting you know, before you even go to talk to him, that his pronouns are she, her. You know what? I'm going to show you the video. I wasn't going to, but I just made an executive decision. I'm going to go ahead and show you the video, and then I'll come back.
Hi, I'm Major Rachel Jones, And what pride means to me is celebrating that diversity is our strength as a nation and as an army. Pride means something very special to me as a LGBTQ individual, and it's a chance to show everyone what we have to offer in terms of the diverse skill sets that we bring and the diverse ways of thinking we bring into the team to make everything work better.
All right. Now, I don't know for certain that this was an originally unofficially authorized video. I don't know if it just may have been this guy that just wanted to make this video and post it, and then the Army picked it up and said, hey, you know what, we're going to promote it. Or was it the Army coming to him and say, hey, let's make some promotional videos? And I suspect that's probably how it happened, but who knows? The point is, this is kind of becoming more regular and more out in the open, more in your face, okay? Not just with the trans stuff and all that, but military, specifically military. The Navy last month, I believe it was maybe the month before, announced that they were working with someone that was a current Navy personnel, a current sailor in the Navy, that was also a TikToker and that was also trans. And on this guy's trans account, or this guy's TikTok account, would dress up as a woman, like a drag queen and everything. So the Navy decided to pick that one and promote it. And so that guy is promoting the Navy, recruiting trans people into the Navy. This is a problem, okay? This is a problem on many levels. Obviously, it's a moral problem. Our government is promoting this type of behavior, craziness, absolute craziness, whatever you want to say, but they're promoting it. But secondly, this is also, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff from the moral perspective of how it's legitimizing this. You know, I grew up in an era that, especially for young boys, and probably a lot of girls too, but for young boys, that was kind of your idol. You know, the military. You used to play with G.I. Joes. You used to, you know, play around in the backyard with your friends that you were in the military, and you idolized, and you had this. Pretty much most boys, whether they eventually became military or not, they grew up, you know, desiring to be that. And so the military has they're a big role model with children, okay? And here, regardless of what's right or wrong of what they do, they're a big role model. So there's one aspect. There's the moral aspect, the legitimizing aspect of this. But then there's something else. Our enemies across the world sees this stuff too. They're seeing our military produce, you know, commercials, recruitment commercials, this kind of stuff. They're seeing this. They're seeing this. And here, what's interesting is over the last couple of years, China and Russia have been upping their game of recruitment videos too. And I'll tell you flat out, if you watch these recruitment videos, regardless of whether they're accurate or not, just by watching the video alone, it makes you want to go sign up for their military. I mean, they look pretty amazing. And yet we're producing this kind of stuff. We are, again, I say this all the time, and I know I'm a broken record, and probably some of you are going to roll your eyes, but we're watching the collapse and demise of our nation right before our eyes. A nation cannot keep doing this kind of stuff. A government cannot keep doing this kind of stuff and not expect that at some point in the future we're going to just fall apart, or we're going to lose all semblance of a civilization. Here we have an officer that is in uniform, that's being, you know, backed up by the Department of Defense, by the Army, on their official social media accounts, and praising this person. You know, I was talking with some buddies of mine last night that are both vets, and, you know, I said, this kind of stuff has to be, you'd almost think it has to be supported by the higher up, by the higher ranking brass, that they're pushing this. There's someone in the military, somewhere in the military, this is being really pushed. Of course, it's probably being pushed from the White House onto the Defense Department and then down through the brass. But for the guts, I don't know that that's the right word, for the audacity of someone, for a man in the military, in the Army, okay? In the Army. It's where all the tough guys are at, right? And the tough girls. to put earrings on, let your hair grow long. Obviously, he's out of shape. You know, the PT standards must be pretty weak on those majors now. But to parade himself around this way, without being, you know, with the Army supporting this, with his fellow soldiers supporting this, or, you know, feeling brave enough, I guess is the term that they use to do this, is just crazy. Years ago, you know, they had, you know, you'd kind of get pushed aside because of mental reasons. If you ever watched the old TV show MASH, you know, you'd figure that one out pretty quick. This is sick though, and it's showing a weakness in our nation. And our enemies, whether they be Russia or China or Iran or North Korea or many others that do not agree with this kind of stuff. You know, they are very traditional minded, especially some of these countries that are Muslim, and Russia is very much an Orthodox Christian nation for the most part. China, not so much, but still, none of them accept this type of gender stuff. They look at it as weak. Aside from most of the Western world, the rest of the world, you know, they view the traditional roles of men and women, that men are supposed to present themselves with strength, and especially men in leadership, and that if the leader of a nation or the leader of a military is weak, then they perceive that the whole, the nation or the military as a whole is weak. And regardless of whether you think that's right or wrong, that's how they perceive us. That's how they perceive things. And so they're seeing our military repeatedly prop up these people that apparently have mental illnesses, that are dressing up as women and flaunting themselves around, concerned more with, you know, the pride flag or anything like that than they are with actually creating and building a strong, capable military of defending this nation. I can't see it any other way other than this is a purposeful destruction of this country. I don't know. What do you think? Here we have this again, and this isn't the first time. This one here is this is pretty blatant. This is pretty out there, but it's certainly not the first time. And, you know, we've got Putin and Xi Jinping and all these others sitting around probably absolutely laughing their hind ends off because they're seeing what our military is doing. I'm sure there is some type of, I don't know, a motive to destroy us in this way, or to at least to show. I mean, I can't imagine this being one of those things. We're going to make them think we're weak. We're going to put all these trans people out there in uniform and make them think we're weak, and then when they get in close, we're going to destroy them. I know that could be a possibility, but I highly doubt that. And I just can't see that being a thing. They're really wanting to push this. They really think that this is the right way to go. There was an article, I believe it was just today, maybe yesterday, last few days, talking about how even military vets don't want that. Recruitment is so bad right now that military vets do not want their families to join the military. You know, guys that are in the Army, served careers, retired, they're telling their family do not. In fact, every guy that I know, most 90% of the friends that I have just happen to be vets. And I can't think of any one of them, not a single one of the friends that I know that are vets, that would recommend to their children or to someone in their family to join the military. In fact, every one of them have told me, I don't want my boys, I don't want my children joining the Army, I don't want them joining the Marines, I don't want them, because of various different reasons, and this is one of those various reasons. We're watching purposeful destruction of our nation. This is a purposeful destruction of our military. The once the greatest, strongest, most capable, most powerful military on the planet is being destroyed from within. They can't recruit anyone. The only people that they're getting are men that want to dress up as women, you know, as effeminate men. That's what we want in our military. You want someone that's weak and frail and is worried about their pronouns to go out and fight wars for you, to defend the homeland? Is that what we want? You know, we want to diversify our military that way because that makes us a stronger fighting force. I mean, Where's the logic in that? Where's the evidence? Show me the evidence that shows that putting men on the front lines in war that are hyper feminized, that's putting dresses on and makeup, that's focused on their gender identity and their gender pronouns, makes them more capable fighters in war. Where's that evidence at? I don't see it. I mean, if it's there, if you've got proof of it, please show us. Because everything else indicates that this is being done to destroy America, destroy our military, and destroy America. It's being done from within. We don't have to worry about China bombing us into where. We don't have to worry about Russia doing that. They're going to sit by and wait for America to destroy itself, and then they're just going to move in and take us over. I mean, that's the smart thing to do. It's disgusting. It's shameful. It's making it harder and harder for folks like myself that consider myself an ardent patriot to be patriotic anymore. It's hard to have a love for this nation anymore. It's like, well, I love what it used to be. I love what it once stood for, but it's not that anymore. So how can I say, well, I still love America. I still love this country. I love parts of it, but it's being destroyed. It's become Sodom and Gomorrah. It is the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. America is that. So is that where your pride lies and what it is now? And don't say, well, not all of America is. And that's true. Not all of America is. But officially, America is that. Officially, that's what's being promoted. That's what the whole world sees. Our media, our entertainment, our government, our schools, our education, elementary all the way up to college. Sports, athletics pushes it. Everything. Now, small town America may not, but everything else does. And isn't that a real representation of America? I know you could say, no, small town America. It is, yeah, that's a representation of America too. But that's not what everyone sees. What everyone sees is what's being pushed out there in every form of media possible, everywhere, on a very wide, broad scale. That's what America has become. And it's sick, and it's sad, and there is a disease in America. It's a mental disease, and it's a spiritual disease. And we're watching it fall, and that's why you should be getting ready. Because this pattern can't continue and expect everything to just keep being all right. I mean, that's another mental illness, in my opinion, and I'm no professional. If you really think that the patterns that we're seeing happen can just continue on, and in America never actually, collapse or have any massive problems and any future, positive outlook, then that right there to me makes me think that there's something wrong with someone. Because I don't see how you can see it any other way. This pattern is absolutely destructive. It's purposefully destructive. We're watching it happen. You need to get ready for it. You need to prepare yourselves, your family, for this pending coming destruction, because it's happening as we push this garbage more and more and more. It's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.